the 1857 mutiny, a disproportionate number of the mutineers from Bengal on behalf of Brahmins. And that is when the British realized that we have to create a narrative to discredit this social class, which is intellectually the most dominant and quickest on the uptake, which is why they always hated the Uchitpavans and the Brahmins most of all in the 20th century, because they were quick on the uptake. Now, following this, the Wahhabis were sponsored indirectly, quietly in 1863. The Ahmadiyyas were sponsored in the 1880s. So they were creating an entire narrative. And this narrative is repeated now without pause in many guises. And this narrative is very simply, there is a religion called Hinduism, which is the religion of these oppressive Brahmins who propagate this false idea about the divinity. And it is the Brahmins. And the divisions were intended to separate the intellectual class from everybody else. Now, Brahmins, of course, had been killed and enslaved in huge numbers before the British came. The British delivered the coup d'etat of intellectually discrediting them. And Punjab is a wonderful case study where almost every Punjabi I meet will tell you how they have been oppressed by the Brahmins, which is why intellectual life is so weak in the Punjab. Very intelligent people, but they have very little intellectual tradition anymore because the British realized the Brahmins were going to be the problem. That is something that spread. Now, if you read even Narendra Singh Sarila on the Great Game, the partition, even that, you will find Churchill constantly cursing the Congress party as a Hindu party, by which he meant these oppressive Brahmins, and we are going to be stopped from looking after the lower orders of India, the Dalits, etc. So this is a refrain. Now, this refrain has become the dominant ideology, not just abroad, but the dominant ideology of our civilization, which again, Sai has been the first to systematically try to put together in one set of colors. There is a lot of work on this already, but Sai has done a brilliant job on this.